Health sector budget realization rose significantly in 2021. Good evening, it's Wednesday, January 26, 2022. Market Headlines is ready to provide you information from business and economic. And with me, Fajar Wayong, you're watching Market Headlines. And let's start Market Headlines. In a retreat meeting, President Joko Widodo and Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong discussed several subjects, including strengthening cooperation on economic recovery. The meeting even recorded new investments worth $9.2 billion.
President Joko Widodo and Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong held a retreat meeting in Bintan, Riau Island on Thursday to discuss several subjects, including strengthening cooperation on economic recovery and vaccine recognition.
Pertemuan saya dan PM Lee membahas upaya penguatan kerjasama bilateral di berbagai bidang, terutama di bidang ekonomi, dan saling tukar pandangan mengenai berbagai isu di kawasan. Pertama, penguatan kerjasama pemulihan ekonomi. Singapura merupakan investor terbesar di Indonesia. Investasi Singapura di Indonesia pada Januari sampai September 2021 senilai 7,3 miliar US dollar. Pertemuan retreat mencatat adanya investasi baru senilai 9,2 miliar US dollar antara lain di bidang energi baru terbarukan di sekitar Batam serta Pulau Sumba dan Manggarai Barat NTT serta pembangunan hub logistik di Pelabuhan Tanjung Priok.
The meeting in Bintan recorded new investment worth $9.2 billion US dollar, including for the new and renewable energy sector, as well as the constructions of a logistic hub at Tanjung Priok Port, the President informed. To support a green investment climate, a number of MOUs were signed at the retreat meeting. To continue maintaining financial and monetary stability to support economic recovery, several collaborations were also signed, including an MOU on financial cooperation and another one extending the cooperation previously inked in November 2021 regarding the local currency bilateral swap agreement and bilateral repo line cooperations by another year. IDX Channel report.
To maintain the supply for industry, the Ministry of Industry proposes the percentage of coal domestic market obligation increase from 25% to 30 to 35%. The Ministry of Industry recommends that the percentage of coal volume obligations for domestic needs or domestic market obligation increase from 25% to 30 to 35%. Director General of Chemical, Pharmaceutical and Textile Industries of the Ministry of Industry, Muhammad Hayam, said the recommendation to increase the percentage of DMO coal volume was to maintain supply for industry, especially cement. This is because coal is the main raw material for the cement industry. He also asked for supervision and evaluation of the implementation of the decree of the Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources concerning the selling price of coal to fulfill the need for raw materials or fuels for the domestic cement and fertilizer industry. He explained that international coal prices have continued to increase since December 2020. This will affect the domestic reference coal price set by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. It is noted that the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources set a benchmark price of $159.79 per ton in December 2021. IDX Channel reports. The revitalization project of Halim Perdana Kusuma Airport would kickstart on Wednesday, January 26. During the revitalization process, airport operations were temporarily suspended and relocated to other airports. The Transportation Ministry announced that the revitalization project of Halim Perdana Kusuma Airport in East Jakarta would kick-start on Wednesday, January 26. During the revitalization, the airport would be temporarily closed. The ministry's spokesperson Adita Irawati explained the project was carried out as a follow-up to Presidential Regulation Number 9 of 2022 concerning the revitalization of the Indonesian National Army Base facilities or Halim Perdana Kusuma Airport. The revamped project was aimed at improving land and air facilities in order to support flight safety, security and convenience. Halim Perdana Kusuma Airport has been serving scheduled, non-scheduled commercial flights, cargo, military and VVIP flights. During the revitalization process, airport operations were temporarily suspended and relocated to other airports, including Soekarno-Hatta Airport, Hussein Sastranegara Airport, Kertajati Airport, Budiarto Airport, and Pondok Cabe Airport. IDX Channel reports. And moving on to a global update, Pfizer and BioNTech started clinical trials of a new COVID vaccine which targets the Omicron variant. Meanwhile, the IMF's board urged El Salvador to strip Bitcoin of its status of legal currency. More stories on today's International Minute.
The Dutch government has said it will ease its COVID-19 restrictions among Europe's toughest from Wednesday. Dutch hospitality settings, including bars, restaurants, and museums, have been shut since December 18 in a bid to curb the spread of Omicron variant. But despite the restrictions, COVID-19 cases have continued to increase, with some 60,000 now recorded per day. Pfizer and BioNTech have started clinical trials of a new COVID vaccine which target the Omicron variant. The companies plan to test the protection gained from the new vaccine as a booster jab and as 3 separate jabs in unvaccinated people. More than 1,400 adults are expected to be enrolled in the trial, likely to be in the United States. U.S. company Moderna is planning to begin trials of its own Omicron-specific shot soon. The International Monetary Fund's board urged El Salvador to strip Bitcoin of its status as legal currency due to its large risk, highlighting a major obstacle for the nation's efforts to get a loan from the institutions. El Salvador last year sought a $1.3 billion IMF loan, but talks have been stymied by the lender's Bitcoin concerns, and any program would need to be approved by the board. Microsoft Corp exceeded analyst expectations for second quarter revenue on Tuesday, propelled by strong demand for its good-based services from more businesses migrating to hybrid work models due to the coronavirus pandemic. While revenue beat expectations, it failed to turn around the negative market sentiment that has dragged down stocks. Microsoft shares were down about 3% hours trading. IDX Channel report.
Economists expect coal downstreaming will reduce LPG dependence. Market headlines will be right back.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Versation Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Market Review Senin sampai Jumat pukul 10 hanya di IDX Channel.
Presiden Joko Widodo kembali menghimbau pekerja perkantoran untuk bekerja dari rumah atau work from
Kumpulan
home.
berita ekonomi dan bisnis dari dalam negeri.
Bekerja dari rumah, work from home, lakukanlah.
Pemerintah resmi memperlakukan minyak goreng satu harga sebesar
Mengungkap fakta dan data perekonomian secara mendalam.
Jenis kemasan.
Seluruh minyak goreng akan dijual 14.000
Senin sampai Jumat pukul 14.30 hanya di IDX Channel.
Saya Mangivera Tjong dan rekan saya Wicky Adrian hadir dalam Power Breakfast.
Awali hari Anda dengan informasi dunia ekonomi yang diulas dari berbagai sudut pandang.
Indeks harga saham gabungan konsisten.
Simak pula analisa pasar modal dan inspirasi bisnis dari berbagai perusahaan rintisan.
Tapi inovasi ini diganti-ganti.
Power Breakfast, Senin sampai Jumat, pukul 8.00, hanya di IDX Channel.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. Throughout 2021, the realization of the health budget reached 291.4 trillion rupiah, or rose significantly compared to the previous year by 69.2%.
Throughout 2021, the realizations of the health budget rose significantly compared to the previous year due to the surge in the Delta variant of COVID-19. Last year, the realizations of the health budget reached 291.4 trillion rupiah, an increase of 69.2% compared to 2020. The Director General of Budget of the Ministry of Finance, Isa Rahmatarwata, explained that in detail, the health sector budget is realized through ministry or agency spending worth 212.48 trillion rupiah, non-ministerial and institutional spending worth 12.41 trillion rupiah, and the transfer to regions and village funds worth 66.49 trillion rupiah.
Sektor kesehatan ini meningkat dari tahun 2020 yang juga sudah merespon terhadap COVID itu 172,3 triliun, kenaikan sebanyak 69,2%. Terutama yang dirasakan oleh masyarakat ini adalah klaim untuk perawatan pasien COVID sebanyak 1,4 juta pasien, nilainya 83,3 triliun. Kemudian pengadaan 310,9 juta dosis vaksin, nilainya 33,2 triliun, dan kita berikan insentif untuk tenaga kesehatan.
The whole sector budget in 2021 has been used, among others, to pay for treatment claims for 1.4 million COVID-19 patients with a value of 83.3 trillion rupiah, procurement of 310.9 million doses of vaccines worth 33.2 trillion rupiah, and for incentive for health workers worth 17.1 trillion rupiah. From Jakarta, Rajo Patmo for IDX Channel.
The government's efforts to encourage the downstreaming of coal into gas products are believed to encourage the long-term fulfillment of domestic LPG needs. Economic observers sees this step as appropriate, but a step to encourage foreign investment is also important given the high cost of downstreaming. The groundbreaking of the coal to dimethyl ether downstream project carried out by the government is expected to reduce imports. President Jokowi even revealed that Indonesia's imports of LPG reached 80 trillion rupiah from its needs of around 100 trillion rupiah. Indonesia's core economist Yusuf Randy Manilat explained that the downstream policy would provide long-term benefits to the fulfillment of domestic LPG. However, to ensure compliance, the government must continue to ensure that foreign investors can contribute.
Memang akan berpotensi mengurangi ketergantungan impor, tetapi tidak secara langsung ya, tetapi secara bertahap. Dan harapannya tentu hilirisasi batubara ini kemudian bisa bertambah gitu ya, pemerintah bisa mengundang investor untuk berinvestasi di produk hilirisasi ini gitu, karena memang hilirisasi batubara, apalagi kalau kita berbicara ke produk turunan gasifikasi, itu membutuhkan investasi yang tidak sedikit, sehingga memang investasi dari luar memang diperlukan untuk pemerintah untuk mengembangkan lebih lanjut ya atau lebih.
PLN believes that the company's electricity sales will improve in 2022. This optimism is based on projection that the business sector will rebound and electricity demand will increase.
PLN admits that the company's electricity sales will improve in 2021. The head of PLN Center of Excellence, Heri Nugraha, explained that the company will continue to increase sales in 2022. Heri said that the household customer segment contributed 45% to PLN, while the rest are business and industrial segments. Heri added that in 2022, PLN will focus on fulfilling electricity for business and industrial segments. PLN is optimistic that the business world will rebound in 2022 and electricity demand will increase.
Nah, untuk itu PLN fokus pada memenuhi kebutuhan untuk pelanggan-pelanggan yang supply listriknya untuk usaha ya dan industri. Nah, di tahun 2022 ini ya, PLN fokus untuk memenuhi potensi big customer ya dalam penyediaan listrik baru untuk kawasan industri, kawasan ekonomi khusus, kawasan pariwisata, smelter, data center, industri baja, industri besi basa, industri tekstil, industri kimia, industri minyak dan gas.
Currently, PLN has 63,000 megawatts of power plant, 8,200 megawatts of renewable energy with 82.5 million customers. In the future, PLN targets to reduce electricity costs to the lowest point while maintaining the reliability of electricity supply. From Jakarta, Rizka Ayu for IDX Channel.
The Ministry of Public Works and Public Housing will build an underwater toll road to the new capital in Balikpapan Bay. Head of the Toll Road Regulatory Agency, Danang Parikesit, said that the construction of the underwater toll road will be carried out using a submerged tunnel scheme so that vehicles can pass. However, Danang said that until now his party is still making preparations to determine the location to the technology to connect the toll road to the new capital. Expert staff to the Minister for Technology, Industry and Environment of the Public Works Ministry, Endra Atmawijaya, stated that one of the reasons why this project was created was so that the road to the new capital city would not damage protected forest areas.
Ya, itu mungkin yang dimaksudkan adalah kalau terminologi teknisnya adalah submersible crossing ya. Jadi selama ini kalau kita menyeberang sungai atau menyeberang di muara itu kan pakai jembatan tahunya ya, itu kita sudah punya juga mengetahui ada teknologi yang memang submersible, jadi ada semacam terowongan itu ditenggelamkan ya di laut atau di sungai sehingga bisa.
Intiland pursues 47% marketing sales growth in 2022. Market headlines will be back after this quick break.
Datu membawakan program berita News Screen yang menghadirkan informasi seputar ekonomi maupun juga bisnis dari dalam negeri. Awal mula tertarik untuk menulis buku dan kenapa memilih untuk buku anak gitu? Karena
aku tuh penikmat buku anak. Dan
perbincangan bersama sosok wanita yang menginspirasi.
Aku suka banget ngumpulin buku anak.
Nah, ada nggak sih inspirasi?
Diulas secara santai dan mendalam.
Buku anak dari luar banyak sih ya. Cuma akhir-akhir ini aku lagi suka banget sama bukunya
Women's Talk. Setiap Jumat pukul 12.30 waktu Indonesia bagian Barat hanya di IDX Channel.
You're watching Market Headlines. At the Jakarta Composite Index Intraday Movement earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,577.14 and then approaching the closing time on the first session. The index was on the level of 6,557.47 and then the next showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time, index was closed at the level of 6,600.81. And in short, Jakarta Composite Index went up 0.5%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got health, went up 1.89%. Technology went up 1.68%. Meanwhile, property went down 1.22%. And industry went down 0.05%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. From the top gainers, Aneka Tambang went up 2.56% to the level of 1,805 rupiah per share. Indica Energy went up 3.98% to the level of 1,960 rupiah per share. BRMS went up 9.68% to the level of 136 rupiah per share. And IPTV went up 28.17% to the level of 90 rupiah per share. And meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got Arto went down 6.88% to the level of 15,900 rupiah per share. Bank Sentral Asia went down 0.96% to the level of 7,700 rupiah per share. Neocommerce Bank went down 1.64% to the level of 1,800 rupiah per share. And BEPS went down 2.11% to the level of 4,650 rupiah per share. And let's see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,337 rupiah, showing weakening trend towards US dollar. And it was closed at the level of 14,320. And in summary, rupiah went down 0.12%. Intiland Development is optimistic to target marketing sales of 2.4 trillion rupiah. The optimism is based on company's view on momentum for recovery for the national property market. Supported by economic conditions that will continue to improve, this year Intiland Development is optimistic to target marketing sales of 2.4 trillion rupiah. Last year, the company scored marketing sales of 1.64 trillion rupiah. This achievement increased by 75% compared to marketing sales in 2020, which was recorded at 937 billion rupiah. In an official statement, Intiland's Director of Capital and Investment Management, Archit Noto Pradono, say that there is potential this year which could be a momentum for recovery for the national property market as well as increasing market absorption. Archit also revealed that in order to achieve this target, the company will rely on sales proceeds from several new project developments to be launched this year, as well as from new developments in ongoing projects. IDX Channel reports. Meantime, Integra Indo Cabinet is optimistic that it will aim for significant performance growth in 2022. The company targets net sales in 2022 to grow at least 25%. Supported by high market demand, Integra Indo Cabinet is optimistic that it will aim for significant performance growth in 2022. According to Integra Indo Cabinet's Corporate Secretary Wendy, the company targets net sales in 2022 to grow at least 25% year-on-year, with a net margin of around 10% to 12%. Wendy emphasized that in 2021, the company had increased its production capacity for furniture and building component products through the acquisition of a factory in Lumajang covering an area of 2.3 hectares. From the acquisition of the factory, it is projected to increase production by 20% in 2022. Meanwhile, this year the company has budgeted a capital expenditure allocation of around 250 billion rupiah. Funds sourced from the company's internal cash and bank loans will mainly be used as capital for the company's expansion plans and maintenance capital expenditures. IDX Channel reports. Daya Mitra Telekomunikasi or Mitratel has prepared a capital expenditure of 9.9 trillion rupiah. With this capital expenditure, the company hopes to boost revenue this year. Mitratel Investment Director Hendra Purnama said that the company has prepared a capital expenditure of 9.9 trillion rupiah, which was sourced from the proceeds from the initial public offering of 18.8 trillion rupiah. With this capital expenditure, the company targets to achieve annual revenue growth of around 10 to 11% by 2025. According to Hendra, Mitratel is still in the process of massive expansion so that the target is set high. Moreover, in 2023, the company plans to become a digital infrastructure company. Therefore, Mitratel needs to ensure the allocation of capital expenditure this year to be better prepared to work on the 5G market as a digital infrastructure company. Immunity is still going on. Here is an update for COVID-19 vaccinations in Indonesia. And viewers, the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel. And I'm Fajar Wayong. Have a nice evening and stay healthy.
Menjalani kehidupan yang mapan dan masa depan yang sejahtera. Sikapi uang dengan bijak. Mulailah berinvestasi di pasar modal. Dengan membeli saham melalui Bursa Efek maupun perusahaan sekuritas, Anda dapat menikmati hasil keuntungan dari perusahaan-perusahaan besar yang tersedia. Pastikan Anda berinvestasi di perusahaan yang memiliki izin resmi. Cerdas mengelola, masa depan sejahtera. Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, lembaga pengawas industri jasa keuangan yang terpercaya.
Selamat pagi pemirsa, selamat pagi Wicky.
Hai Prisa, pagi.
Ada hal menarik yang saya cermati di pagi hari ini. Mungkin pemirsa juga yang sedang perjalanan ke kantor, jalanan lumayan lengang.
Karena mungkin beberapa orang agak sedikit menilai waktu keberangkatan mereka ke kantor. Karena tadi sempat hujan dan sekarang lagi ada mendung.
ada juga yang katanya udah mulai WFH lagi nih, meskipun belum ada belum menyeluruh.
Betul, ada himbauan dari pemerintah gitu ya untuk beberapa kantor yang non esensial menerapkan 50% WFH/WFO.
Karena
gitu.
tingginya kasus Omikron ya dan COVID-19 di wilayah Jabodetabek, pemirsa. Oke, langsung dari area studio IDX Channel Jakarta, saya Prista Sompodatu dan rekan saya Wicky Adrian hadir dalam Power Break.